Guys, Ryan here. I've got a few more parts of that question. I want to get a few answers to you. So we kind of left off with maintaining habits after the 6 weeks, and we kind of already touched on that a little bit because the first part of the question was what to do when you've got someone around you that maybe doesn't eat the way that you eat. So we kind of addressed that with talking about the acronym BIG, which was the books you read and informing yourself. And the more you can learn about nutrition, the better off you're going to be. Are you making informed choices based on what you know you need versus what I tell you you need? Okay. Or what your coach tells you need, which are the correct answers, but you want to know why so you can make those decisions on your own also. Okay, and the I was the influence, so that's the people around you and what they're doing, and whether you're changing the people that you surround yourself with by not hanging out with the people that make bad choices or hanging out with people that make good choices, whether it's coming to a gym where everyone makes awesome choices or developing a support group online, a Facebook group, which actually have more on that to come. I've got one coming for you guys. Plus, you can also take the people around you that don't make phenomenal choices and help inform them and maybe help them change their own life by making some better choices as well. So now all of a sudden you've got an influence of a support group around you of people that, hey, I'm going to eat the way you eat, do the things you do, and you guys can collaborate on that instead of butting heads on that. Okay? And the last part of that acronym was G, and that was goals you set for yourself. Okay? So now I want to talk about goals because I got another part to this question that I want to address, and it is should you adjust for your losses calorically? Okay, so I think what this person was getting at is, hey, so I've set my needs based on how much I weigh and what my BMR was, and that was on your in-body sheet that you saw. Okay, that's how many calories your body burns at rest, and obviously as your body weight changes, that changes as well. Okay, now what this person was asking was, if I weigh less, should I eat less? Now let's kind of get one thing straight about where that BMR comes from. It doesn't necessarily come from body weight. It comes from skeletal muscle mass. So hopefully if your body weighs less, you haven't lost any of your muscle, okay? So realistically, either your BMR will stay the same if you keep all your muscle or increase if you gain more muscle, okay? So you might have lost an overall 10 pounds on the scale. Okay, so your body weight is 10 pounds less. But maybe you actually lost 14 pounds of body fat and gained 4 pounds of muscle. Now, even though the scale reads less, you've got a greater amount of muscle on your frame. And that's your engine, all right? That's what stokes the fire. That's what burns the calories. That's what needs the fuel of the food to burn. So what you're going to see is that BMR go up a little bit, which means that actually one of two things will happen. One, you keep eating the same amount of food that you are eating, but all of a sudden that becomes a larger deficit because all of a sudden your need was here, now your need is here. Okay, you were eating here, right? Say need was here. That distance becomes greater between what you're already eating and then what your need is. So your body automatically will continue to lose if you pack some muscle on. Okay, that's one way to look at it. The other way is, hey, you know what? I'm losing at an okay rate and I want to continue to fuel the fire. I don't want that gap to get too large because I don't want my body to kind of come into this too big of a caloric deficit because that's not great either. So what I do is I actually adjust up. Okay, lost a ton of body fat, gained a little bit of muscle, BMR goes up, you adjust up with calories also, and that's something that your coach can help you with also. So long story short, even if we're beyond that point now, okay, I would say base your caloric need and what you're adjusting with your food off of what your BMR says. If your BMR changes, then you can change it. If your BMR goes from 1445 to 1449, don't worry about it. It's all going to come out in the wash. That 4 calorie difference really isn't that big of a deal anyway. Right? If your BMR goes from 1445 to 1545, maybe then we start looking at making a few adjustments. Okay? Hopefully that helps there. Let me see if we got one more part to this question. We're going to try to keep this video under 10 minutes for once. No, that was pretty much the last part of that question. Great. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to say keep doing what you're doing if it's working. If it's not working, then we'll adjust. Okay? And the adjustments, keep it simple, right? It doesn't have to get super involved. Start over at the beginning of that principle. What's my BMR at? What's my activity at? What are my calories at? Calories are in check. What's my protein need at? What's my carbohydrate need at? Am I hitting those things consistently enough to see changes? If yes, Awesome. And I'm not seeing changes, then I need to have different goals. If I'm not hitting those things consistently and not seeing changes, well, don't change anything until you've got some data. Okay? So that's the simplest way I can say to look at it. Beyond that, if you really want to sit down for half an hour with a coach, we can get in depth on your numbers and things that you see and what you should do. Let one of us know. I'm going to post the link to Acuity in this email so that way you can see how easy it is to kind of schedule with a coach. You can sit down with myself, any of our coaches, and kind of go over, hey, here's my numbers, here's what I've been doing, here's what I've been eating, and just kind of push you towards us and say, help me fix this. And we'll kind of look at it and be like, okay, sweet, you're eating this, that's great, but let's make some adjustments here, and here's what you should do in the long term. Okay, and it's a half-hour macro mini sit-down. Hope to see some of you guys in the future. Keep it up, and I will see all you guys for weigh-ins the next couple days.